the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey yo, what's up y'all? It's Logan, and I'm here bringing y'all this review to this newest 21 Savage and Metro Boomin collab tape, Savage Mode 2. Yeah, we've been waiting for this one for a minute. Highly anticipated ever since the first one came out. We knew we were going to get a second one, especially recently. It's been teased more and more. Finally got it this past weekend, and man, it lives up to the hype. Clocks in 15 tracks. 44 minutes. Not every track is a song. You know, you have some interludes. One huge point about that, the interludes are spoken word pieces by Morgan Freeman. That's how you know you made it, whenever you start getting Morgan Freeman to do talking points on your album. And man, he really carries his moments on this. Not saying he's the best part of it though. Let me go ahead and get right into this one, though, because we all know who Metro Boomin is, we all know who 21 Savage is, and we certainly all know who Morgan Freeman is. Come on. So the pros. Chemistry, man. The chemistry between these two are just phenomenal. Obviously, having Savage Mode 1, having worked together with Without Warning, having worked together on Metro Boomin's latest project from 2018, Not All Heroes Wear Capes. These two have great chemistry. Metro Boomin works with any artist well, especially trap artists, and 21 Savage specifically, for some reason, he is great with. So their chemistry is amazing. The production level, y'all know what Metro Boomin's coming with. Whenever you hear that Metro Boomin wants some more, you know, if Metro don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you. Anytime you hear any of those intros, you know you're in for a great beat. And man, he comes through on this one. He comes through with some hot stuff on this one. I'll talk about that a little bit later, though. So the production level is amazing. The flows are really freaking good too. I mean, 21 always has a good flow, but he's become more and more of a technical rapper as his days have gone on, and a better writer too, especially showing that on I Am Is Greater Than I Was. And he shows that growth here too, to a degree. On top of that, whenever he does have those funny or corny lines, because that does kind of lend itself to a project like this, it works for a lot of this project. Again, him being an underrated lyricist, him actually having a good pen game, a decent pen game, let me not say good pen game, but a decent pen game, a good pen game for trap artists specifically. I mean, that lends itself as well to this project, but I mean, even whenever there is a corny bar here or there, it works. It's not like so jarring or like, are you really saying that? You know, it's not like that. The cons: not every song stands out, especially the second half of this album. The first half of the album is just like amazing. But then there's a certain point on this album, once you get to it, where it starts to kind of die down a little bit. It starts to lose its impact. So I do have to make note of that whenever I'm mentioning this to y'all. Let's see. So it really carries on for this project. Really heavily, really well, until Snitches and Rats, the song. Once that song hits, and even during that song, because it is the song that features Young Nudie, after that it kind of starts to die down. But luckily you only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs left, and some of them are still pretty impressive. Again, no bad songs on here, it's just that those last few songs really don't stand out that much. On top of that, the features are pretty good, but they don't go as hard as they could, and I will talk about the features throughout this project, so just hold out for that. Speaking of that, let's go on to the standouts. I got one song on here specifically that I'm going to start with that really stood out, and then a couple of features, and then another really standout track. So the first song that really stands out is Runnin', the first actual song on this album after the spoken piece by Morgan Freeman to guide us on to this event. Runnin' is the best beat on the album by far. It really leans into the darker, you know, Halloween type vibe, with a dark beat and an eerie voice chanting over the whole thing. I mean, that's really impressive to me. I enjoy when they do stuff like that, and especially this coming out, what was it, October 2nd? You know, it's Halloween season, and I really enjoy that. You know, that's the reason why I like, what was it called? Clippings, There Existed an Addiction to Blood. It had a lot of that, Halloween type vibe, and it came out around that time, so it really works, and it works for this as well. This isn't the only track where I really found that happening. But I really enjoyed that. And then 21 really kills this beat as well, just flowing all throughout it. So I enjoy that track a lot. That's probably my favorite track on this album. And ironically, it's the first one, really. Mr. Right Now features Drake. So obviously, I got to talk about it. The flows are really good on this one. I mean, you can tell they're just sliding, they're just vibing throughout the entire song. The beat fit them very well. The beat's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more upbeat, I guess, per se. Like happier, you know, where the other ones are like, oh, I could see like murder, I could see Halloween, darkness, eeriness, the other songs to start this album. This one's more like taking my girl out, and I mean that's specifically what it's talking about. Drake definitely could have gone harder on this one. This is not my favorite Drake feature. A lot of people have been saying he was trash on this one. I don't think that. I think it was still a solid feature, but I see what they're talking about in that it was disappointing for a Drake feature, because a lot of times he comes out hard, and he could have come out hard on this one, but instead he went on what I'm going to call his certified lover boy bag. I don't actually know what that album's going to sound like, but I mean, it just sounds like he's going to be soft. And he came out like that, you know, talking about a girl, and I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You know, I like Drake when he's talking about stuff like that, but and aside from one awkward line about his slow stroke game, it wasn't that disappointing, but it wasn't amazing either. So a good song, easy to vibe with. You know, this will probably be a banger. It'll probably be on the radio, stuff like that. But yeah, after that comes Rich Inward-ish. You know, we keep it PG in here. It has Young Thug on it. Young Thug comes through with a really good feature. Again, not his best work, but more up to par than what Drake was. I'll say that. Again, he's good as usual, and has really good chemistry with Metro Boomin and with 21 Savage. The song didn't do a lot for me. It's pretty tame. 21, he really doesn't stand out too much. I mean, again, you know, he was just going with an average flow with some average bars, nothing crazy. But it does allow Young Thug to stand out and really get in his bag a bit, where he starts off a little bit laid back and then gets into his higher pitched, more I'm gonna say grating voice, even though you know all of us enjoy it so much. If you don't like it, I understand that, but if you're a Thug fan, you love that voice. And so when he gets into that, it's really enjoyable, and that really adds a lot to this track. But otherwise, this track probably wouldn't have been that amazing, especially if it did not have him on it at all. After that, I got to talk about Mini Men. This is the last track I'm going to talk about specifically. When I saw the name of this track, I obviously thought of 50 Cent's Mini Men, you know, wish death upon me. Alright, stop. Anyways, yes, it's highly paying homage to that track. I love the beat on this one. Again, very reminiscent of like Halloween, specifically the actual Halloween soundtrack, the main track on that. It's similar to that, almost like a Halloween / Psycho type beat. I really enjoy that. Again, that's the reason why I enjoyed There Existed an Addiction to Blood so much. I love that he did that on here. Again, this is probably the last great track on this album, and then you got Snitches and Raps, which was just pretty good. But I love the fact that they sample Mini Men at the end of this. I enjoy the track, I enjoy the homage, I enjoy the point they're trying to make with it, and again, overall, really good song. So in conclusion for this album, it lives up to the hype for the most part. Don't listen to the people calling it a 10 or calling it Trap Album of the Year. That still goes to High Off Life by Future for me. And it's certainly not Album of the Year in general. That still goes to After Hours. I mean, but right now I have this, I want to say at my 15. It's in my top 15. Definitely in my top 20 right now. I could see it sneaking into the top 10, but I've listened to it about 4 times now, and I just can't quite give it that much. But again, yeah, definitely top 20. Really enjoyed it. An amazing first half, more than makes up for the subpar second half. And again, it's not that it's subpar, it's just that compared to the first half, it falls off. If the entire album was like that, it still would have been a positive experience, but it would have been a letdown. The first half is like, oh wow, they're stepping their game up. And then the second half is like, okay, they took it a step down. You know, so overall it comes to about the same as the first Savage Mode. I might even say I enjoy this one more just because the highs are higher. Although I might have to say the lows are a little bit lower too. I'm having a hard time with that. Regardless, I'm not trying to compare it to the first Savage Mode too much. Compared to I Am As Greater Than I Was, 21 did not come with as much heart. He did not come with as good lyricism. But that makes sense because this is a less personal project. This is a more just fun trap project. So I understand that and I forgive him for that. Overall, I thought this was pretty solid. In fact, I'm going with a solid 8 out of 10 on this one. I understand if you go higher, don't give it a 10. That's a little bit too much. It has some flaws, certainly. But again, very enjoyable, very fun. And I'm going to be coming back to this one a lot. I'm going to be coming back to the whole project quite a bit, but especially a couple of those tracks, especially Runnin'. Let's be honest, Runnin' was amazing. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all on this one. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, sub, hit the bell next to my name for notifications, and I will hit y'all up with a couple more videos later this week. Peace!